How much playtesting do you do of your products before release? Did you run Whitechester for a group? Speaking of Whitechester, it's LOTFP compatible. Have you ever considered writing something specifically for LOTFP?
Playtesting is tricky because if you try to open up playtesting to people, you will get a lot of queries from people who just want an early copy of the game for free and never get back to you with any quality feedback. I'm fortunate in that there's a couple of groups that can give me decent feedback. Ninth Octopus has been useful in the past. Sometimes my regular playing group, who meet more often than I can meet up with them, they will tinker around with things for me. The main problem I find is that if I'm doing it, running the game as a playtest, then yeah, I will smooth over the rough patches, or I understand it because I wrote it, and so someone else coming upon the book or the writing might not necessarily understand it in the same way. It's a bit like trying to edit your own manuscript, right? You've just finished writing it. No matter how vigilant you try to be, you're going to miss mistakes because you don't necessarily consider them mistakes, or you have a blind spot for that particular spelling or grammatical rule or whatever it might be, which is why spelling and grammar tools are useful and why editors, if you can afford them, are so important. And so similarly, having other people to playtest is the only really good way of doing it, but finding quality, well, essentially QA testers to try running your games and so on, it's challenging, difficult. So often, just as with editing, I have to do the best I can with the resources that are available, which means I might run a couple of sessions, or I might sit there by myself and run through a few scenarios to just kick the tires, make sure everything works all right. After so many years in the industry, I have fairly good instinct for whether rules work or do what I want them to, whether they're explained in an adequate way or so on. Not foolproof by any means. Mistakes often slip in, or things are often phrased badly or incorrectly, but by and large I can get away with it without necessarily going through all the pain of finding playtesters and getting them to actually reply and show me stuff. So that's that. When it came to Whitechester, because of my health issues, it went on for a very long time, and so I did get some playtesting in there. But Whitechester is the setting book. You don't necessarily particularly need playtesting for what amounts to a city crawl, because it's just places and creatures and descriptions and things like that. It's not really rules changes for the most part that need to be played through. Of course, there is a huge variety of undead related to the city, which are all, well, not all, mostly modified from existing ones, so different types of zombie or that sort of thing. So it didn't really need a lot of playtesting, but people did. Ninth Octopus helped with that one in particular, which was very nice of them. As for writing for Lamentations, I mean, I've done a few things kind of for it, a couple of scenarios, my booklet on the Ars Goetia is made with LOTFP in mind, though it's broadly compatible with most OSR systems. So, there's that. Machinations of the Space Princess is based off Lamentations of the Flame Princess, as is obvious in the name, I think. I would happily write something directly for Lamentations, gladly, if Jim would have me. But I don't like adventures, which is the main thing that they publish. That and esoteric oddities and the occasional other thing. So yeah, I don't know that the kind of stuff I would want to write would necessarily be compatible with Jim's publishing plan. But if you want to see me write something for Lamentations, go tell Jim Reggie.